こんにちは、チャートマスターの根崎ゆきです。11月5日のセッションリキャップスコットのウェブセミナー取っていきたいと思います。よろしくお願いいたします。それでは始めていきましょう。
Make sure you remember that you're all invited to the Endeavor class tonight. We will not do it in the Endeavor room. We will do it in the New York session room, so that everybody has access to it. Beginners class is in the beginners link. Right? So beginners class is at 8 o'clock Eastern time tonight. Endeavor class, which is a more advanced class, is at 9:45. So everybody's invited to go see what that's all about. All right, so we're going to go up here to the euro and take a look at it here. The euro has moved quite a ways to the downside. It's got an unsustainable trend. We are driving it back up. We're looking for them to come up somewhere around in here potentially and turn it to the downside if they want to keep this downtrend going. All right, so this is the old uptrend and it's gone at this point in time.
まずはユーロドルですね。240分チャートです。トレンドブレイクしてきて新しいダウントレンドのチャンネルができています。一度戻ってきてからの売りで見ていきたいですね。
So it's got quite a ways to go, about 60 pips up to the top, and here's the problem. The euro moves 13 pips. It's 7:30. Thank you, Pip. Yeah, 7:30. It's 8:30 Eastern time, 7:30 Central time. Thank you, Pip, for that. All right, so now the problem with trading the euro between now and London is the London moves on average 13 pips during the Asian market. So it's got 60 pips to go and it only moves 13 pips in the Asian market, which is the next session. So it's probably not going to happen today. You might get the move up tonight and then finally the move down tomorrow. All right, so just be aware of that. All right, got to understand your currency and know what she does. All right.
ユーロドルは60ピップ上がってからの下げですけども、今のエージャンマーケット、東京マーケットでは13ピップしか動かないので、ロンドンセッション以降見ていきたいよねということを言っていましたね。続いてポンドドルいきましょ
う。Same kind of thing over here. We have a breakout of this trend here. We actually anticipated that because your trend is your friend till it bends, and of course you see it bend. We were actually anticipating the move to the downside. We just didn't anticipate that they were going to do it with a funding. All right, so and we didn't expect the Chinese to be the ones to do it, but that's called trading. All right, so now we're outside this trend. We're hooking back up. We need to square up. If we can square up here on this candle, you see this consolidation there. If we square up there, which has another 20 pips or so to go, right about 1.600, we will look for the thing. It's on the beginners page and also on the calendar diagram. All right, we're looking for that opportunity to the downside. Once we get up to 59.85 or 6,000, we'll look to be a seller back down to 58.
ポンドドルですね。ポンドドルは一回戻ってきて 1.6000 この辺りに来たら跳ね返りで売っていきたいですね。
94, maybe down to 59, 58.80. All right, so there we go. All right, over to the CAD. CAD, we need a deeper retracement than we're getting. We do have room now to the top. We didn't have any room, but we need an A, B, C. And we got square up that needs to take place here. So I'd love to see it come down here. Then we'd get this trade and this trade if it gets this low. All right. So Diane, I just told you that. It's on the beginners page and also on the calendar. All right, on the website. There's a calendar on the website and there's also a beginners page.
ドルカナダですね。240分です。今アップトレンドなんですけど ABC リトレースメントが来て、ここが強いサポートになっているので、ここでの張り返りで1つ目2つ目ダブルトップまでっていう風に取っていきたいですね。
Both of them have the links on it, so just go there. Right. I can't make it any more succinct. That's how you do it. Go to the beginner's page or go to the calendar, two places, and log in at the right time. Alright, Swissy. Yeah. Swissy, we have follows the dollar index. If you want to trade the follow the dollar index. Dollar, it's right now it's retracing, and we anticipate that it will retrace 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll get a fifth wave to the upside. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Somewhere down in here. I need to put a set of fibs on here. These low fibs are no longer going to work for me, so let me take those off and pop another set of fibs from the swing low to swing high. Right here, swing low to swing high. Find the most likely bounce point. Okay, here's the most likely bounce point. It's at the 50% fib. Right? That's the most likely one. And don't forget, the 50% fib is not really a fib. The market just uses it so often. So the 50% fib would also be a bounce on the old trend line. See, so that would be our first trade and our second trade up in there.
ドルフランですね。 今、アップトレンドにあっての1、2、3、4波目ですね、4波目。下がってきての跳ね返りで見たいんですよね。なので、フィブを引いて、スイングロー、スイングハイ、直近安値高値で結んだところ、どこで一番跳ね返りやすいかなっていうのを見ていくと、50% が、トレンドラインとかと重なってて強いよねっていうことを言ってて、ここで跳ね返ったらダブルトップまで1つ目、ダブルトップ抜けてきたら2つ目、HSI の R5 まで買っていきたいよねっていうことを言っています。
Dollar yen, right? Dollar yen, where we don't know yet whether this is a bull flag or not. Take it up to 240. Right? Looks like a bull flag. We have a breakout of the old downtrend here, but we have a problem here in that we need to square this candle up, and we haven't squared that candle up. So we might come as low as here before we get the bounce. There's the trade right there, and then there's the second one right there. So the bounce out of the bull flag up to 98.90, and then a W position above 98.90 for the 98.30. So there's not a lot of pips here, folks.
ドル円ですね。今、ドル円は直近で、こういうブルフラッグが引けます。これのブレイクで1つ目、2つ目っていう風に買っていきたいねってことを言ってますね。
The better thing to do is to watch this thing rather than trade it. Go trade a different currency once you got a different yen cross, right? Than the Asian market tonight. So that's the opportunity. It's there, right? Not yet. It's just right now it's just a bull flag. Yeah.
で、今、スコットが言っていたのは、そんなにピップ数が大きくないよね、ドル円はっていうことを言っていて、なのでドル円をトレードするんだったら他の円クロス、他の円通貨をトレードした方がいいよねっていうことを言っています。
The ABC would have to be this would have to be a failure and then the D down here. See? So starting from the bottom. To me, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves. That's what it looks like to me. So 5 waves up. That's what I look at it. And then we need it. Oh, I see what you're saying. This could be the ABC move to the downside. I got you. Okay, I was on a different wavelength. Sorry, Herman. All right. So it is the ABC, right? So you're right. So ABC, right? That could be it right there. All right. But you see, it hasn't squared up. And that's the danger here. It's to square up, which is another 35th below. So it's an ABC after the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC. This is why we got a head and shoulders. It's an ABC. Right? Or Gartley. Alright, Aussie dollar. Alright, back up to the 240. Notice I get off this lower chart. I go right to the 240. We're in a potential wedge here at the top of a trend. If we get this sell-off, we do not want to miss this sell-off, folks. Right there. Alright, so and remember the Aussie moves all day because the Aussie has for the Aussie dollar, it always has a session coming up in a couple hours. Alright, same with the New Zealand. That's not the case with the euro.
オージードルですね。今、オージードルはダウントレンドの中のウェッジがあって、なのでここで跳ね返って下に行ったら絶対ここを逃したくないですよね。売りで見ていきたいよねっていうことを言っています。で、オージードルは、いつでも空いてますよね。オージーセッション、東京セッション、ロンドン、ニューヨークと、いつでももう数時間でマーケットが始まるよみたいなことになっているので、24時間ずっと動いているので、注目していきたいよねっていうことを言っています。
It's not the case with the pound, all that. But the Aussie and the New Zealand, after we close this room down, what's the next session? Right? It's Singapore. It's Sydney. So then we have the Asian market and the Singapore. So it always has an upcoming market, so it has a tendency to move all day. So if you get the opportunity, you can trade it. And the only few that you can trade it. And Aussie dollar is the currency that newbies need to be trading. Aussie dollar trading, and we're looking for the move to the downside to 93.85. Once we take this wedge out and the support at 94.80. All right, so that's it. Yeah, it can all change. It can all change. That would be trading indicators, right? I'm not trading. I'm waiting for them to do this. And if they break out to the upside, which they certainly could do, then I would be a buyer. I'll have to redo the charts to the upside. I don't have them to the upside. So that's the danger. All the three musketeers are saying we're going to do that. Could we do that? Absolutely. So until I'm out of this, I'm still a seller looking for that. All right. So that's my opportunity right there. If it doesn't do that, it finally breaks out. You can see we're going to have to square that candle up right there, and there's consolidation. So you're coming up to.
で、もしこれ下に抜けてきたら売りますけど、上に抜けてきたらまたやり直しですよね。チャートをやり直して、買いで見ていきたいよねっていうことで。 で、スクエアキャンドルと、コンソリデーションという横ばいの部分があるので、ここで一回止まるんじゃないかなということを言っています。
This area about 40 pips to the upside. But till it buys that, I'm not a buyer. So remember the five musketeers, all that. They're just indicators. They're information gatherers. I'm not an indicator junkie. I don't trade them. I let them feed me information. Could be out, but I don't trade up on the week chart, so that means virtually nothing to me. It is a right down here. It's a bull flag. Up here in the 60, it's a bull flag. And looking for the 240. If you look at it here, yeah, you can see the triangle. I don't need to go to the week chart and see one right there. We're in a big pennant. See that? Go to the day chart, you'll see it pretty easily. Big pennant. All right, over to the EJ. EJ has broken through and had a rising wedge, which is a sell sign. It did that. All right. Okay. Our problem here is that we can't. That's not a tradable trend. As you can see, that's a tradable trend. Right? That's not a tradable trend. So every movement is going to go up, and they're going to probably take it down to here. We'll look for the bounce here, and hopefully we get a nice trend to the upside. Right? That's what we're looking for.
ユーロ円ですね。今240分チャートを見ています。ブルフラッグからのブレイクで ABC が来て跳ね返りで、買っていきたいよねっていうことを言ってますね。
But I can't trade this thing. Alright, pound yen. Pound yen, we're waiting to see if this will break to the downside. Alright, we know we're looking for the pound New Zealand to do the same thing. Alright, so we got a wedge here. We got a bull flag. We got a descending wedge and a downtrend. We're looking for that right there. First target would be break of the descending wedge, which is at below 157. You're looking at 157.67 for trade 1, and trade 2 down at 156.17 is trade 2 down here. All right, New Zealand.
ポンド円ですね。ポンド円ダウントレンドの中の今下げを見ているんですけど、ウェッジにあってこれを下に抜けてきたらこのスペース取っていきたいよねってことを言ってますね。上から引いた HSI の12345をもう一回狙って、この間で取っていきたいよねっていうことですね。
New Zealand, we're waiting to see if we'll get this bounce. And remember, the Aussie's going to the downside. Now remember, Aussie has an announcement this afternoon, so be careful of that. We have an announcement on the Aussie later today. All right? And then don't forget tomorrow, Kuroda speaks. So both of those are factors in the market that can whack the market out. All right. So we're looking really dicey here. All right. The thing is, we can't tell if that's a ascending wedge for that move, or this is a bear flag for a breakout, and it's non-farm payroll week. So, right?
9ドルですね。これも同じくウェッジです。なので上に抜けてきたら買えばいいですし、下に抜けてきたら売ればいいですよねと。で、今日は黒田日銀総裁が話すので、すごく動くかもしれないよねってことを言ってますね。
Now, put the New Zealand aside, and if it proves that it's a buy, it's going to have to be above 83.22. If it proves it's a buy above 83.22, you're going to trade it to 8,400. Okay, so that's 80 pips up there. All right. If it does break out here, you don't have very much room to the downside. So I just walk away if it comes to sell. I definitely take the buy to the upside because that's in keeping with the trend. Aussie yen. Aussie yen has got a same kind of thing. You know exactly. Is this a channel to the upside? Is this a bear flag for the breakout to the downside? Is this a bounce on the bottom? I don't know yet what it is. So what's it got to do? It's got to prove it. So how does it prove it? If it gets above 94, I'm interested in a trade up to 94.55. Okay. If it breaks out to the downside, I'm going to wait till it takes the bottom out, and I'll trade it down to over here at the bottom.
OG 円ですね。OG 円は今ブルーフラッグ少し見えています。アップトレンドの中に間違えました。ベアフラッグですね。ベアフラッグが見えています。でもしこれ上に抜けてくるようだったらここまで買えばいいんですけど、下に抜けてくるようでしたらここまで買いましょうということですね。
So we do the targets to the downside, but this actually becomes a good target, even though it's an up target, not because of that, but because of this over here. So
でここのターゲットはもう一回やり直してもいいんですけど、ここが、前回のアップトレンドのターゲットだったんですけど、ここはすごくレジスタンスとして効いているので、ここを狙っていいと思いますと言ってますね。
Either way, I'm good. Just prove to me what you're doing. Euro pound, got a breakout here. We have a sideways movement here. This is man, it sure looks good. Now, this is one of the ones I will trade without with an unsustainable trend. All right. The reason for that is because it doesn't move very fast. All right. So, I could trade this to the downside on the break of the rectangle down to here, move my stop, and if I can get into this trade down here, that will be trade 1 and trade 2 down here. All right.
ユーロポンドですね。240分ですけど、ユーロポンドは今下がってきての横ばいなので、また下がる可能性ありますよね。なので1つ目ここ、2つ目ここっていう風に取っていきたいです。ユーロポンドの欠点としては動きが遅いということで、ちょっと見ていかなくちゃいけないですねっていう感じですね。
I would trade the euro pound even though that's unsustainable. Right? Now what they may do is just move it over to here sideways and then do it over here, which would be even better, except it's going to take it forever to get there. All right? So I like that. If it will do that, that's a no-brainer. If it doesn't do that but still breaks, I would still take that trade right there. Right? Just because it doesn't move very far. Right? It will eventually square up, But here's the problem with them is squaring up, Richard, is how they get up there. Right? So it's got a ATR, let's see, 43 pips. It only moves a little over a T30 a day. In three sessions, it moves from here down to here. That's all it moves on average. Right there. So to get up to here, that's a 3-day trade after that. So yeah, So then square this one, see? And maybe try and square this one down. See, so that's why it's all about. Okay, I see that there. Okay. Then you go, okay, but the ATR, I have to figure. There's lots of these little pieces that you don't have to do in a stock market, because in the stock market you're just buying a currency, you're buying a stock and hoping the sucker will go up, right? But in the foreign currency market, one side's going up, one side's going down. So we have lots of stuff to watch for, but we only have 19 currencies to watch instead of 40,000 or 90,000 stocks, right? And we're not buying and holding. So, all right. Euro Aussie, right? Same problem we got with a lot of these euros are all nasty. Why? Because they're all in unsustainable trends. That's the problem. All of them are in unsustainable trends. So what are we waiting for? We're waiting to see what happens. That's what we're doing.
続いてユーロ王子なんですけど、今スコットが言ってたのは全てのユーロ系の通貨、今ちょっと嫌だよね、ナスティっていうのはちょっと微妙だよねっていうことですよね。なので、じゃあどうすればいいか、もう少し動きが出るまで待ちましょうっていうことを言っていますね。
Could it bounce up here? It could bounce. Right? If I break out to the downside, I got new room because there's a day chart bottom right there. The only way I can trade this is to break this day chart bottom, and then I can trade this down to 41.31 down here. That's the only thing, but that's only 30 pips. It's just not worth trading. You just walk away from it. Not worth messing with it. There's better opportunities elsewhere. Same here with this euro. Right? Again, unsustainable trend. All the euros, I would just walk away from the euros. Don't even touch the euros. Get the heck out of Dodge. These all have a huge danger of squaring up. They all have a huge danger of having to go back up to the upside just to keep the downtrend going. And they're just nasty mess. Right?
で、ユーロ系はもうやらない方がいいよねと。なので、とにかく今、例えばダウントレンドですよね、ユーロカナダですけど、これ。ということは、このダウントレンドを keep going、そのまま継続させるために、一回上がってこなくちゃおかしいわけですよねと。なので、上がってきてからの売りで全然遅くないので、ちょっとユーロ系は、間を取りましょうということですね。
So, but if this thing were to take off and break out, the only time you can trade this, the hardest trade is to get out of the R1, R2, which is where we're at right now. Now, if it does take out this top at R2, then you can trade it to the upside because this downtrend, which is a lousy trend, is no longer in force. The uptrend for the day chart is. All right. So trade 1 would be there. Maybe you'll get it all the way to there. And trade 2 is up here. And of course, you can see trade 3 back up to the top. That squares it all up. That'll take them all week to do.
下から HSI を引いたんですよね。で、1と2っていうのは R1 と R2 っていうのはすごく超えにくくて、なのでこれ超えてきたら逆に買いでいけますよね。そうしたらデイチャートのこのトレンドラインっていうのが効いてきてくるので、3まで、そして、サポレージまで、で4まで、でデイチャートのトップまでっていう感じでやってきて、その後の売りでまた見ていけますよね。
So, I might consider trading that if it will prove it, but I'm not going to touch it until I get above the R2. Not going to even think about it. Because the safest for our trade is at the R2 to R3. It's only got a few pips to go, and it's the first time that bankers actually get risk for reward. CAD again, nice downtrend we're in here. We're at a breakout point, or we're going to continue the trend to the downside. If we look at it, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the opportunity. We don't want to miss that opportunity. So if it breaks to the downside, it's up at 94.70 right now. I think it's a little lower. 60. So you can see why did I do that? Because I could see the channel up there, and I want to draw the channel. Because I've got to be out of the channel in order to trade it. So I could see that channel. If you didn't see the channel, then you got channel work to do. Because you need to see this stuff instantaneously. It's called reticular cognition. So there we are. We've got a channel here. So if we come down in the channel here, we can see we could trade that. There's 50 pips to the bottom of the channel. Make sure you know where the channel is. And a breakout of the channel here gives you this opportunity. That's no longer a target. It's a barrier. So you're actually coming down here. Yeah. So trade.
カナダ円ですね。今60分チャートに下ろして、チャンネルを引き直してみたんですけど、これ見てますよね。で、240分のトレンドの今上にいるので、下がってきたら売りたいよねってことですね。50ピップありますよと。で、ブレイクフック&ゴーでその下、ここまで取ってきたよねっていうことを言っています。
One is here, trade 2 is here, and trade 2 is a big trade. You don't want to miss that. Okay? But we can trade it if we get a real good signal to the downside in this channel to the upside, because it's telling us they're going to respect the top, just like over here, just like over here. So we can trade that. New Zealand yen. All right, big mess. And the reality is we're trading in the box here. All right, so we've got the big box that we're trading in. We're looking for them to continue to move to the upside. There's the opportunity right there. We have had a pullback, so we got trade 1 is up to 82.24. Trade 2 is a break of 82.24 up to 83.67.
キウイ円ですね。240分チャートを見ています。でもこれ大きく見るとボックスレンジですよね。で、下までもプルバックがあったので、次はもう上に行くしかないよねということで、1つ目、2つ目っていう風に取ってきたよねと。
Big trade here. Don't miss that one. All right, Pound New Zealand. All right, we're anticipating this is a big trade if it'll get going, but it might go, might not here. So we got a move. I think I just said the worst word in Forex. You see how I catch myself when I say it, I immediately say I just said the worst word in Forex. I said I catch myself. All right. And so we've got to move to the upside. If it respects this line, we're looking at that trade. All right. If not, and it continues up, we're looking for that opportunity, and that makes it an even bigger opportunity down in here. All right. So either one of those trades, I'll take 1 or 2. So the first one would be down to, they need to square this up down here. So I'll be looking down here to, both of them are going down to 91.33. The first one will be coming off at 93.13, so it's 80 pips. If it gets as high as 93.57, then you're going to add another 40 pips to it.
ポンドキウイですね。60分チャートを見ています。で、2つチャンネルがあって、どちらでもいいんですけど、上がってきたら跳ね返りで売りたい。で、このちっちゃい方のチャンネルブレイクしてきて、上のチャンネルで跳ね返ってきたら売りたい。でもターゲットはここですね。ここです。このレジスタンスですね。を狙って売っていきたいよねと。
Alright, silver for those of you who can. Waiting to see if we get a bounce here or a sell. We're at the bottom of the channel to the downside, and they broke the upside channel. There's a very real possibility to continue this down. They need to square this candle up, as you can see. So there's 50 pips down here, which would do its ATR. This would be the bounce point for that back up to the top of the channel. All right. So you can trade it either way because there is no trend on here. It's just a big box also.
銀 XAG ですね。ここにすごく強いサポートがあるので、ここまで下がってくると思うんですけど、ここまで下がってきたら跳ね返りで買いたいよねってことですね。
Pound Chief. All right, we're waiting to see if we get the sell-off down here. We've got lots of reason to go down, and the least of which is the square up down here. Everybody can see that square up there, okay? So if we get this thing underway, there's trade 1 and trade 2 right there. Two big, wide open spaces.
ちょっと今僕はすごく驚きましたけどもワイドオープンスペースがあるよっていう歌なんですけど、つまり今、これはポンドフランですね。で、ダウントレンドだよね、トレンドブレイクもしてるよねっていうことで、ここに一つ、もう一つっていう大きなスペースがありますと。ここを取っていきたいよねっていうことですね。で、一つ目で売って、売り増しでもう一つっていう感じで売っていこうねっていう感じで、ちょっと皆さんのことも驚かせてしまったかもしれませんが。
Press our winner, so we'll be very interested in that if we can break the 4,500 to the downside, and also the 44.67. You have to have your stop move by 50, and then hang in, and then make it all the way down to here. All right. Now, if it breaks to the north, I got to redo the charts because I don't have a clue where it's going up there, so I have to redo the charts to the north. All right. So this just broke out. How did we miss this pound Aussie? Is nobody watching that pound Aussie? We talked about them needing to go up, but as you can see, they didn't go up. We broke the bull flag, bear flag right there. Man, I don't know how we missed that one. It's already up 30. We already talked about this trade, right? We wanted to go up here to the top and sell off the top down here and double our position here. What did it do? It did that. So I wasn't watching. I don't miss these trades if I'm by myself. When I'm sitting there talking to you about squaring up and all that stuff, that's how you miss trades. Right? That's how you miss. So we missed it. Nothing we can do about it. We already identified this trade this morning. All right? Robin got it. Nice job, Robin. Way to go. There you go, Erica. It's designed so you never, every time you go to trade, you hear wide open space and you go, wait a minute, I'm not in a wide open space. So we learn when we hear rhymes, we hear when we check. That's why you can not hear a song you haven't heard for 20 years and all of a sudden it comes on the radio and you can sing every word of it. You haven't sung it in 20 years because the music is what does it. Right? Well, we missed this opportunity, folks, so I don't know what we were doing. We were asleep at the wheel or something. Anyway, we were going to trade it down in here, so it's already underway. It's only got 10 more pips to go. All right, so from here, then the opportunity is now here. So nice job, Robin. Way to get it. I'm glad you did it. Right, so there it is, moving our stop to 786 because that's a bounce point. We're going to target the day chart bottom here at 66.83. Yeah, we should have set alert. Well, usually there's enough traders that are watching it. We said, don't miss this. Well, anyway, usually we'll catch them, but today everybody was snoozing but Robin. So, all right, so that's it. Euro New Zealand, last one. We have a breakout.
今のはポンド王子だったんですけど、ニューヨークセッション中に見てて見逃したよねということで、ロビンさんだけ入ったけどみたいな感じで、言っているわけですね。で、次はその下のデイチャートのボトムまでのスペースを打っていこうということで、すごくショックを受けていたスコットでした。続いてユーロキウイですね。
Here, we're looking for it to go to the downside, but it has a big square up here. It's got a euro in it. That's why it's a problem. See, all the euros have got problems, right? They have not squared this up. If they want to take this 250,000 pips to the downside, they need to square this up first because they're in buys up here. Everybody see that? They're in buys up here because of the consolidation. So what's the risk? They come up and square it up before they go. See? Now, if they break back up into the uptrend, you would trade it up to the square up part. You would trade it back up to the square up part, knowing where it is. All right, they move their stop tight, and maybe that's a sell-off, and then they got a new trend going to the downside. Your job is to figure that out. See?
最後にユーロキウイですね。ユーロキウイは今、アップトレンドにあるんですけど、一回下がってきてますよね。なので新しいチャンネルができる可能性があって、その前に一回上がってきて、ここコンソリデーションして横ばいなので、ここまで戻ってきてからの売りってなるかもしれませんと。そうしたら新しいトレンド引きましょうねっていうことですね。
So, okay, but if it doesn't do that and go square it up, opportunity, then we'll have to be working this little channel down here, and there is an opportunity right there below 62.45 going down to 61.57. All right, folks, I'll see you all tonight. Have a great day, and be careful. Don't forget Aussie tonight announcement this afternoon, so you got to be careful of that. And then tonight, beginners class in the beginners room. Go to the website. It's either on the calendar or on the beginner's page, there's links to it. And then all of you are invited to the 9:45 class. It will be in the New York session, even though it's an Endeavor class. All of you who are subscribers, remember, it's the New York session. I will send an email out to remind you that. Right? I won't send everybody, I just send our subscribers out the email that we'll be doing Endeavor in the New York session tonight. All right, everybody, we'll see you later. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.
はい、というわけで今日のセッションリキャップここまでですね。ユーロはちょっと遠ざかってた方がいいよねということでしたね。それだけ気をつけて、あと今日総裁が話すということで、もう話したんですかね。また明日撮っていきたいと思います。それではどうもありがとうございました。失礼します。